yeah, mina sengivule la ngiyafuna ukusenza siyile. Uzethi yazi thina singamakhompyutha IT uyazi ukuthi ngiyangikhohliwe mina Wi-Fi ya awuyifake efonini yakho ithini ifoni
ayivele manje 17626
That's so loud. Lindo.
It's on. Yeah, you're right.
Closer. Yeah, I went to rotate to fetch this part. A little bit close. It's actually further. So I now plug this in at the barrier, which was very close.
Not where my uncle is usually parks his car.
No.
Not the side.
Yeah.
no
No, open there, like inside. Then I thought it was close to the side. Only to find out the OT. I had to go fetch this. I had to go fetch this OT. So the number was at the
ya ngiyayibona manje ukuthi isho ukuthi intambo eshodayo la
Yeah, they're letting him do all the work. He works hard.
If you don't, laptop, camera is
Who's going to sit next to the mic?
famous.
The speaker. The council.
Yeah, I cannot. Anything, you understand? You need to try to.
It doesn't understand my presentation.
I'm not saying that.
But
That's what I
should
Shut it down. Shut it down, man.
ya ngifuna ukuvitsela screwdriver sofika la
Yeah, I don't know send me too many links, you know. I've sent the link to WhatsApp. Yeah, ngabe ivula kathela kahle. Ngabe ivula
Yeah, you just make sure this is
yabona njengala la ayikho la mina singathola lena la
Anguza?
nala kumele sibone lena la
Yeah, we do the news.
ngiyaqala ifeed ngemuva
Abavela amabheda A1 ibhedisa zonke
yeah manje basuyisho so ngiyashukwa bana sound again
so the office now speaker not there.
oh okay
Somebody may find out.
oh yeah feed that it makes sense so now the fun the festival now
It's open. And the other thing, you know, that system can also
yeah we propose it
Lindo.
This one. There's nice weapons there. We need weapons now. Here's another one.
Batteries. Was batterijen nog.
De nieuwe hij is nog niet op. Ja, ik wil wel niet zo scheef, maar.
My stomach's bigger than that.
And I'm not correct. I broke some of my pieces. That's why I'm using this. Samsung. Nah, let that little box fall. And I've got the big one, so to repair it, it's 21,000. 21. Where must I get 21,000? So, but if I've got it again, I'm busy. I've got lots of plans. I'm going to operation before. I'm going to stay at home.
I remember you said.
Now I'm coming. So then I'll have to maybe get some contact numbers. Are you breaking the stuff? Why don't you put small one here?
Wait, I don't have it with me.
No, this, you make this small.
It doesn't want, you know what happened?
No, that's good. Doesn't want to come in again. Why does Andani break the stuff?
And then she leaves.
Wait, oh, she's on her own then.
No, not own. She went to the home.
And how are you?
How are you?
I'm very well.
Well, I'm trying as always.
You are late.
Yes, for a change.
No.
Is this reserved for
you?
Yeah, this one. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's these funny guys here next to me.
Yeah.
And you left me like that.
So you wish, I think, yeah, it's just
A pin. Something.
asking for a flat screwdriver.
Which MMC is joining me at the front?
Get that four crosser. I saw it in there. Hey,
Yeah, come.
that microphone is not in front of his face all the time. Let me ask you, is it possible to put it lower?
No. That's the
If the
lowest.
stand goes lower, then maybe.
That's the lowest you can go.
Can you?
That's low. Only thing, how do I tie it up? No, it doesn't tie up. The only way it ties up, it's like this. Your stand is a problem. Yeah. So. Please be seated here.
Don't show my head.
Hey, all right, news.
Right. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Is that the new speaker?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Don't be far from me. Don't be afraid. Eh, may we take attention?
You tell me when you're going to start.
Yes, that's where I am now. I'm requesting everybody to be ready. Are we all ready?
All this time.
Should I count myself down?
And I'll fix it for you. Okay. Can I start?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm waiting for you, good sirs. Thank you very much, everyone. Let me take this opportunity and greet all of you who are present into our media briefing. Let me also greet our stakeholders out there and members of the community within governing Bheki municipality. I am Councillor Nhlakanipho Zuma. Accompanying me are members of the mayoral committee, the chief whip of council, and also the municipal manager. We are taking this brief so as we inform our members of the community and stakeholders within governing Bheki municipality of firstly the state of the municipality, secondly the event that was very unfortunate that took place last week on Monday, which we had not been able to come forward and be able to brief our community members with regards to that particular incident. I am managed by the council to carry out this particular function and ensure that all of us are able to know what exactly is happening. Firstly, let us indicate that governing Bheki municipality, just like any other municipalities established in terms of the constitution of the country, which is captured and given powers by Chapter 3 and also Chapter 7 of the Constitution. There are legislative frameworks that we are working under, which those legislative frameworks provide means on how for each and every member who's part of this institution is supposed to function, whether in the political arm, in the executive authority, or in the administration. It is under that guise that we are able to give you this particular briefing so that as an integral member of the municipality, your good selves as members of the community are aware of what is happening. We have unfortunately been witnessing quite a lot of criminal activities that have been taking place within the boundaries of the municipality. Some of them were in a manner that we could not be able to prove. Some of them are in a manner that we are able to prove. That is why we had taken a posture to act on some of those things that had come forward towards us. All of us know that this institution had quite a number of challenges. We are from a situation where we were seated with a disclaimer opinion in terms of the audits. We are currently on a qualified opinion. We are fighting very hard to come out of that situation so that we can be able to account for each and every cent that has been utilized by this municipality in delivering services towards our communities. Secondly, we are obliged by the constitution of the country to provide certain services to our people as a sphere of government out of the 3 spheres that exist. It is for that particular reason that, having acknowledged that as we are taking an effort to deliver services, there are people that are unfortunately working against this particular effort that we are putting forward of having this institution functioning at peak. We have been witnessing quite a lot of sabotage to our infrastructure. We have witnessed quite a lot of vandalism that has taken place. We have witnessed fraud. We have witnessed any other forms of criminal activities that we have seen taking place within the municipality. It is for that reason that we have taken a stance to be decisive and act on most of those things, so that we can be able to ensure provision of services towards our community, and in ensuring that also our communities don't just get basic services, but also get qualitative service from the institution. We would want to indicate that we have done quite a lot of work in improving the state of capacity for the municipality to deliver electricity to each and every household that is formalized. And unfortunately, we are seeing quite a lot of unbecoming tendencies that we are witnessing. I will first want to speak to the issue in Embalenhle, where we have already, through hard efforts, initiated the process of establishment of a new substation known as the Bracken substation, which that particular substation was supposed to alleviate any form of fear from our community not to have access to electricity at any given time. But unfortunately, we are witnessing that while we are operating that particular transformer together with the other transformer that was in existence in extension 5, but you still have some power cuts in various areas which are unexplained. The understanding that we are seated with, it is that there are elements of dark forces that are operating within the infrastructure and the network of Embalenhle. We are not supposed to have any form of internal load shedding, but instead we are only supposed to have ESCOM load shedding like any other area, on the basis that we have upgraded capacity from 34 MVA to 54 MVA. That is supposed to be sufficient for that particular community. We are acting on this particular matter. I have just before coming into this media briefing, I've received a very short report coming from administration, but I must indicate that I have not gone through it because I was already coming here, but we will circulate facts as and when and communicate through correct channels this particular information. Secondly, we have a situation in the area of Bethal and Mzinoni, where we have a shortage capacity in terms of our notified maximum demand, which we are addressing, and we have informed all members of our community on interventions that we're making. We are currently in a process of construction of a 30 MVA substation, which is supposed, therefore, to assist us in alleviating the crisis of electricity shortage in the area. The demand in that particular area of Bethal and Mzinoni had been sitting at around 43 MVA, which through the installation of meters, we have been able to reduce that particular demand, and also the renewal of the network infrastructure has managed to reduce that particular demand from 43 to just under 40 MVA. We are currently having a total of 26.6 MVA for the 2 areas, and we are pushing for the increase of 30, which will give us a total of 56.6 and that should ensure that there are no longer any form of electricity cuts in the area of Bethal Mzinoni. Fortunate enough, through engagements with our supplier, which is Eskom, we have managed to reach an agreement that Eskom will no longer load shed Bethal and Mzinoni, but instead they will give us all the rights so that we balance the load reduction from one area to the other, so that people do not get to suffer for additional hours than the hours that can be managed. Beyond electricity, we are having a problem that we are not supposed to have also. We are supplied water through rainwater, and the water that we are receiving from rainwater is sufficient and enough for consumption by all stakeholders with our community in Governing Bay. Particularly in the area of Bethal Mzinoni, we have sufficient storage. Actually, the storage that we have in the area is beyond what we need. But on the basis that the infrastructure is old in terms of the pipes that we have, but also the valves, but we will not be able to eliminate the element of sabotage, because on some of the areas, we find ourselves without explanation as to how is it that people do not have water. This has been seen in the past few months. You have noticed that we had a serious challenge in the area of Bethal and Mzinoni, where communities were not having water. Up so far, we have not installed any new pump or any new reservoir or any new additional pipe, but people are having water. Now, it then gives you an indication of a possible dead hand into our network. We are therefore putting forward that we are initiating investigations by some of the stakeholders that we are working together with. In the area of Bethal Mzinoni, we are working together with SASOL in investigating and also finding means to solve the problems permanently. The same has been witnessed in Embalenhle. There are certain areas like Extension 15 which had not been receiving water for over 2 years. Certain portions within the area, they will only receive water during midnight towards the early hours of the morning. Then after that, there's no water. But seated here, we have not done any different installation of additional capacity or anything, but we are not sure whether those individuals are within the institution or external. But all that we know is that there are people who are hell-bent in ensuring that we do not deliver services to our people in a manner that is sustainable and qualitative. This does not only affect water, but it also affects sanitation. We are having sewer spillages almost every town. And in majority of the cases, it is on the basis of sabotage to the infrastructure and the network. Yes, there and there, we might be having challenges of capacity, but the reality is that most of the time it is because of the third hand that has intentions of collapsing the systems that we have. As we speak, yesterday evening, we received a report from our employees, and we alerted the law enforcers so as they can be able to attend to that particular situation where in Embalenhle, people were trying to steal the cables to the waste treatment plant, which would have meant that within today going forward, we were going to suffer even more additional sewer spillages on the basis that the waste treatment plant would have not been working. Already we have been maintaining that waste treatment plant for the past few years. But I would want to focus only on the last financial year, which started in July last year and ended on the 30th of June. Alone within that particular waste transfer station or waste waste transfer station or waste treatment station. We have spent almost 10 million, if not more, doing maintenance, not upgrading, maintaining what we had already made. Replacement of mini subs, replacement of cables, replacement of pumps, on the basis that people kept on stealing that particular infrastructure. We have pump stations that are being vandalized, same way, and we are now improving on security interventions, working together with subs and other security agencies surrounding. We are hoping that these interventions that we are bringing to resolve these elements of criminality that we are seeing are going to be able to assist us in delivering qualitative services. We have listened, we have seen how frustrated members of our communities are with what they are supposed to be benefiting from this municipality. We humble ourselves, we apologize to members of the community for them not receiving a justifiable form of service from the municipality. But we are humbly appealing also for the community to work with us so that they ensure that their equipment or their property is safeguarded up until they are able to receive services to the standards that they feel they deserve. One of the things that we are tasked with as the municipality is to provide human settlements, working together with the Department of Human Settlements. We have listened to our people. We have started initiatives to ensure that we provide human settlements for our people. We have indicated through the State of the Municipal Address that we do have a demand approximating 20,000 sites that are needed in the immediate for our people to be able to have places to stay. But immediately when we started initiating interventions that seek to address that situation, we are finding that there are forces and there are people that are working against us in delivering that particular task. We have procured through the Department of Human Settlements a over 500 hectare portion or farm with the purpose of establishing what is called a township. The grading of the township, whether it's going to be an ordinary township or a town or a suburb, that is a matter that will be determined by town planners at a later stage. But the intention of procuring that farm was to ensure that we are able to develop sites. That particular farm is formally or is famously known as Brandon Village. And that particular area has been fortunately having infrastructure on it. There are houses that are there, and those houses are meant to assist the municipality in ensuring that people without accommodation or without housing are able to find a roof over their heads. Unfortunately, those houses were invaded. In the invasion of the particular farm, we as the municipality have entered into a process of engaging with members of that particular community that has established itself. And certain agreements were reached, including that because we do not have infrastructure ourselves as the municipality, because we are still in a process of formalizing the area, the water that they are going to use and the electricity that they are going to use is going to be received from the mine, because the mine had infrastructure going to that particular settlement. And we had agreed that those members who are occupying must be able to service the account of water and electricity to the area. And unfortunately, at some point, they were unable to meet with that particular obligation or commitment. And since then, the mine had switched off electricity and it had closed water for them. Negotiations happened and the mine was able to reopen water towards the settlement. And later on, the mine wanted to open or switch on electricity, provided that they will be able to pay. Unfortunately, by the time we had an agreement with the mine for it to switch on electricity, the infrastructure that is meant to supply the area had been looted, had been stolen completely. The substation has been stolen. It's no longer there. All cables that lead to that particular settlement has been stolen. We don't know by who. We have reported the matter to the police. There is a case that is pending, that is being investigated. On Monday last week, the council was unfortunately rudely interrupted by members or those that are claimed to be residents of that particular settlement, and demanding attention from the executive mayor and his team, which that attention had been given even prior to that particular meeting. And the purpose was that the mayor must therefore accompany them to view the stolen infrastructure or the site of the scene of the crime that had taken place. It is proper to indicate that we were willing to go there, but there were certain arrangements that had to be made prior. Unfortunately, we had not managed to go there on the basis of other related issues. And even today, we were planning to go in the morning and visit that particular site, and we could not on the basis of the security threat that had been reported to us by crime intelligence. We are therefore calling upon members of the community to understand that we do not have any form of intentions not to deliver services to all of them. But we would want members of our community to behave in a manner that is reasonable, justifiable, so as we can be able to assist them. We are not going to utilize, and I would want to repeat this statement again, we are not going to utilize money of the municipality to address service delivery challenges on a place that has not been proclaimed. It is not permitted. It is not supposed to be. Up until the place has been approved for development, we are not going to be able to install or reinstall the stolen equipment in the form of electricity cables and electricity transmission devices in a form of substations and transformers. We are not going to be able to do that. Lastly, we have witnessed that part of the people that would want to cause disruptions towards the municipality and its function are members within the municipality. Whether it's us in a form of political leadership or its administration. But we have witnessed that there are those which, when we take decisions to say, let us go and service our people, they act against the institution. There are councillors whom will call meetings and speak against the decisions of the council, such as that which says we are going to install meters, new meters, to each and every household or business or any institution across Government municipality. It's a decision of council and it is the prerogative of council. But there are councillors that had taken to the streets and convened meetings and spoke about those meters not being necessary to be installed. We are going to take action against those individuals. We are requesting that members of the public must not interfere with the processes that we are supposed to perform with our own. It is the same with administration. Members of the administration are employed for purposes of delivering service, not stopping service towards our communities. There are members of our administration, unfortunately, that we have been forced to take action against, and some of them we are found in a situation where they are seeking to mobilize communities to fight an employer-employee relationship. And such, we are requesting community members to refrain. We will deal with our internal matters. There are contracts in place that we have signed with individual members of our administration. If we can be given space and be allowed to perform our functions, that will assist us. With that said, we are requesting our community to take responsibility for their municipality. We understand there's mobilization that is taking place under false information towards the community. We request that the community must continue to provoke engagements with their councillors and administration deployed to various departments when they seek information, not hear it from people that seek to bring disruption to the municipality. And that is the presentation we wanted to make today. And thank you very much. If there are any questions, we are free to take. Okay, this one.
Still, while the security is there, we are paying a hefty sum of money from the municipality towards that. My question is most probably, what plans have we got? Because I've also heard sometimes come in, book in, and then go home for the night. It's not a local security, it's some Joburg company. It's the only site that they look after is the Emba wastewater treatment works, and you know that is quite a big problem of ours. So how are we going to address that? Then you spoke about the officials that's going to be addressed and going to be handled. But we know that some of our own councillors and some of our MMCs has actually previously participated in that invasion. Okay. So my question is, what's being done to those councillors? It's fine if we do something to the officials. What are we doing to the councillors? And then I've got two more questions on the safety of councillors. We have one of our own MMC staying in Emba in Brenda Village at the moment, and apparently he knew about this and he didn't inform you about he didn't inform you in time. That others have done so, but I'm talking of him in particular. So I'm very concerned that we have people with knowledge and then don't worry about the safety of other people. So that's the start. So what is the consequences of our action against those people? More. Okay, so that to me is not safe. If you could answer this, please.
No, thank you very much, NCF. Firstly, let's indicate that we have had a problem with the wastewater treatment plant in Emba for some time, to an extent that we have asked the same questions that you are asking towards us, and we eventually went on a process of suing the same company, security company, on matters where we found that the security company was at fault. And eventually we could not agree because they didn't want to pay, and we eventually went through a process of going to court in order for us to get our money, and also we have since terminated the contract. The current company that is there is an intervention. It has been taken from another site to try and go and intervene in the same place. And we would want to believe that if it means that they are effective, if it means that yesterday nothing was stolen, because we have not had a case where there was an attempt and nothing was stolen. So yesterday, fortunate enough, the law enforcement was able to act its part. What are we going to do with councillors that are residing in an invaded area? I think we had made our posture very clear towards that particular or those particular councillors to an extent that as we speak now, we are really reliably informed that there's no councillor who stays there anymore. Yes, there are former councillors who are still there, and we do not have much of a recourse towards them unless council was to take a decision to implement an eviction process, which will not only be towards those council members, but it will be towards the entire community that would have occupied that area. And council has not taken that particular decision yet. Secondly, it's important for our community to know and understand that the houses that are there, the intention is that we must dispose of them, but there is a process that we go through. It's a matter that will be discussed by council, and we have said this before. It's a matter that will be discussed by council as and when we are done with the proclamation and also the township establishment. Once that is done, we will announce the process on how people will gain access to that particular property or will be able to buy or be able to sit or settle in that particular area. With regards to issues of safety, you raised that that particular councillor or MMC did not inform me. Yeah, no. He did inform me. I must raise that. Inform me about the possibilities of us having people that were going to invade council. And we did report this matter to our law enforcement agencies, whether internal or external, including SAPS. We were shocked by the fact that by the time the incident happened, there was not sufficient backup in order to prevent it from happening. We do have interventions that we have now put in place in protecting this particular institution, particularly this particular chamber, moving forward, which I am not privy to announce as it is a security matter, and those must be kept confidential and be handled by necessary individuals accredited to do that. I think that one critical point that I must raise is that a case of public violence was opened by SAPS on Monday, and they are doing investigations on what had transpired. And we are hoping that particular case will be handled with sensitivity and with the desired attention. The community must not be utilized to fight battles that are not known to them by some of us who are fighting our own battles and fighting for our own interests. Thank you very much. In the absence of further questions, thank you for attending. Our media briefing ends here. Thank you.
Which one? The phone yako mzee.
Oh yeah. No, but I've said they are no longer councillors. I did respond.